Comcast Sportsnet, part of the NBC Sports Group.
Towering drive, deep right center field. It's got a chance, and it's out of here. First major league home run for Ryan Howard. Did he crush it?
Before September 11, 2004, there was only one person's image when you thought about home runs in Philadelphia. A Rookie of the Year award, 3 All-Star appearances, a National League Most Valuable Player honor, a World Championship, and 286 home runs later have made number 6 one of the most feared power hitters in the game today. The last image we have of the Phillies' first baseman was one that created an instant kick to the gut for his teammates, his fans, and eventually the team. Tonight, the lineup gets back its raw power. Tonight, the lineup gets back a bat that can change the game with one swing. Tonight, the lineup gets back a very big piece. Two weeks in a row, 2 welcome sights. First it was Chase Utley, now it's Ryan Howard. He arrived earlier today, bag in hand. And yes, he's also arrived in the Phillies lineup for the first time this year. 3 and 4 back together once again. Utley and Howard. Ryan Howard made his return with his teammates earlier today, went through the stretching, went through the throwing, went through batting practice, and also threw around some smiles, which is going to make a lot of folks happy here at Citizens Bank Park. So smiles everywhere as the Phils begin a 3-game series against the Atlanta Braves. He'll play Sunday, and we're hoping that the Phillies will give or get a pretty big boost.
Well, after that tough game in New York last night, Tom, a big boost is needed because that was a brutal loss last night. But all of a sudden you show up and Ryan Howard's back. His first of many major league home runs. That was off Fortunato at Shea Stadium, and he was wearing number 12 at the time. That was a long blast to right center field. And then here's some big ones that he's hit over the years. He was sick this Mother's Day in Cincinnati, came in as a pinch hitter and tied the game with a home run to right center field. He had 2 off left-handers in this game. The game goes into extra innings, and he goes way deep to center field to win that ballgame. Here's Mike Mussina of the Yankees. Mussina, well, he finally had to turn around and take a look just to see how far that baby was going to go. And it was up into the upper deck, one of the longest ones in the history of this ballpark. Talk about a long one. The night he broke Mike Schmidt's record. He had his 49th home run of the year at RFK Stadium against the Washington Nationals. And that thing was way up into the upper deck. Tonight, Tim Hudson is pitching for the Atlanta Braves. One day, Ryan Howard got him 3 times to right field, to center field, and to left field. So he will face Hudson tonight in his first game back. Ryan Howard with a big game there. How about this walk-off? Phillies in an important series with the New York Mets. Guillermo Mota on the mound. No doubt about where that baby was headed. Deep left center field. A walk-off home run for Ryan Howard. How about Game 4 of the World Series? Well, there's one of his trademarks. He goes the other way, and then this one, he'll just pull this one deep to right center field. He hit 2 in Game 4 of the Phillies' eventual run to the World Series. Last year, you talk about lighting the place up. Kyle Roche, a long battle with Ryan Howard, finally hung a changeup. I can't remember it being so loud in this place as it was after he hit that home run. I think everybody thought the Phillies were on their way to the World Series. Unfortunately, everybody knows what would happen then in that series against the Cardinals. Here's Ryan Howard. Well, we thought he'd be over 300 home runs at this point of the year right now, but not to be because of the injuries. But this guy is back. It's just great to see him around the ball club again, and it'll be even better to see him in that 4-hole.
Yeah, it makes everybody else around him even that much better because now Charlie Manuel can tinker with his lineup because he has 3 and 4 set, and then he moves Carlos Ruiz to the number 5 spot. So the Phillies are getting back together. Tonight, Ryan Howard makes his return. Kyle Kendrick on the mound. He'll be opposed by Tim Hudson. When we return to Citizens Bank Park, the lineups and the first pitch of Game 1. An easy drinking Busch Light. By Toyota. Every new Toyota purchase comes with Toyota Care. By Citizens Bank. We're for homes. Talk to us today about how we can help guide you to the loan that's right for you. By Coca-Cola, the official soft drink of the Phillies. By Xfinity, the official HD triple play provider of your fills. And by Independence Blue Cross. No matter where you are in life or business, we have plans that fit. Go to plansthatfit.com. Well, he's been ready to go since he arrived at the ballpark today. In all honesty, he's been ready to go since last week. The reaction when Ryan Howard was introduced earlier tonight was thunderous. I'm sure it's going to be the same when he steps to the plate for the first time in tonight's ball game. Game 1 of a 3-game series between the Phillies and the Atlanta Braves. Let's take a look at the Braves lineup. It's brought to you by Xfinity, your home for the most live sports. Leading it off in center field, Michael Bourne. Then Martin Prado and Jason Hayward. Chipper Jones is the cleanup hitter. He'll be followed by Freddie Freeman and Brian McCann. And the bottom third of Ugla, Simmons, and Hudson to face Phillies right-hander Kyle Kendrick.
This is a really good hitting lineup right now. The Atlanta Braves are going to run out there. Almost everybody in their lineup swinging a little bit better right now. Dan Ugla in a slump, but this place can bring the best out of him.
Michael Bourne takes a first pitch fastball, first strike. Bourne overall 307, 7 home runs and 32 runs batted in. The Braves are anticipating that Michael Bourne will be added to this year's All-Star team. As you take a look at Kyle's numbers, that doesn't tell the story though against the Braves. 2-8 overall this year, but 6-1 lifetime against Atlanta. You want to talk about a guy that's due to pitch a good game? Kyle Kendrick is due to pitch a good ball game. And also get out of the first inning or the second inning without allowing any runs.
Yeah, and they've got some really good left-handed hitters in this lineup. That's always a big part of Kyle's game.
0-2 is low. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Michael Bourne's having an amazing season. He's got 14 games of 3 hits or more. 14 of them.
Yeah, 106 hits overall, which is 3rd most in the National League.
And he'll bunt for a hit too, and he'll get a lot of infield hits. You know, and he may hit 2 line drives and get a little dribbler and wind up with a 3-hit game.
Sided low. Now all of a sudden it's 3 balls and 2 strikes.
Yeah, and he's still a premier base stealer too. You just don't want to walk him because it's almost like a double.
Mentioned that the Braves anticipate that Bourne will be added to the All-Star team. If Giancarlo Stanton can't go, there's a good chance that Bourne will go. Outside ball 4. So Kendrick issues the leadoff walk, and the boos already here in the first inning.
Time now for our Nissan keys of the game. It is really hot here tonight, as everybody in the Delaware Valley knows. The ball should be flying. It was in batting practice. Well, the big piece is back. Everybody knows what that means. First time for the Braves here. It's hard to believe it's this late in the season, and they'll still have to come in here 2 more times. And you know, it's near the end of the line for Chipper Jones, who's had such a tremendous Hall of Fame career, and much of it happened in this city.
Yeah, he's in the cleanup spot tonight. He's been red hot. Here's Martin Prado. You want to talk about a guy that's been red hot. Prado swings at the first pitch. That might be 2. Rollins Dudley for 1. The 6-4-3 double play with Howard on the back end. And there's 2 outs here in the first.
How nice did that just sound? What you just said. You went Rollins to Utley to Howard. I mean, that was music. That's sweet sounding. Rollins to Utley to Howard. I enjoyed saying that.
That's the way it should be.
Well, I said it for a long time. Won a lot of games around here.
Charlie Manuel said today, he was asked, is Ryan Howard coming back early? He said, well, yeah, probably. But 85% of Ryan Howard's better than none. Here's Jason Hayward, who takes a fastball for a strike. Charlie, and I think even Ryan has acknowledged that he's not 100%, but he's good enough. I mean, he drove in 10 runs in his minor league rehab in 7 games as Jason Hayward scorches one up the middle for the first hit of the night against Kyle Kenner.
Bring up Chipper Jones. He's only 7 for his last 9.
Chipper Jones is riding an 11-game hitting streak. His average up to 317.
Just a matter of whether he's healthy. The guy's healthy, he can play. And, you know, he gets hurt a lot at this point in his career, and he finally announced his retirement at the end of the season. I think he's just sick of being hurt so much. Look at his numbers lifetime against the Phillies that we just showed you there. To mention, much of his Hall of Fame career happened right here in this town.
Swing and a miss at a changeup. He's 15 for his last 29. That's a 517 clip. This 11-game hitting streak is the longest for a Braves player since Rabbit Moranville in 1933 for a 40-year-old.
Yeah, 40 years old. He played a little. I think he got in that bat or two against the Phillies at the end of the '93 season when he was called up. Then he blew out his knee the next year and missed the whole season.
Hayward leads off first. Swing and a miss and another changeup. 0-2. So 2 good changeups in different spots from Kendrick, and it's 0-2.
Chipper Jones is up there trying to hit a fastball the way that he normally does. 0-2 count. He's hitting 360. That should be 2-0.
Yeah, with only 7 strikeouts too.
That's an amazing number right there for 0-2. Thought there had to be something wrong with him.
Chipper's going to the All-Star game. He was added even after he was placed on the final vote ballot, where everybody was trying to get him to be the final vote guy anyway. And Tony La Russa did the right thing to acknowledge the career of Chipper Jones. Plus, he's hitting over 300 now.
Yeah, he's not a mercy book.
Check swing. They appeal. No swing, says Mike McClinsky, the third base umpire.
I think everybody thought he swung, including Chipper Jones, because he's walking away too. Does he go here?
Yeah, it looked like he held.
Now, I don't know those things. You know, they're so hard to tell. And it looked like he somehow got his hands to stop because the whole body was going.
2 balls, 2 strikes the count.
A lot of changeups to him in this at bat.
Runner goes. Pitches flared to left field. Pierre didn't see it right away, but he's able to recover and make the catch, even though he stumbled to the ground. No runs, 1 hit, 1 man left. We go to the bottom of the first. Top of the order, ready to get it going. Their half of the first. Let's take a look at the Phillies starting lineup. It's brought to you by Xfinity, your home for the most live sports. Leading it off at shortstop, Jimmy Rollins. Shea Victorino will bat second. Chase Utley hits third, followed by Ryan Howard and Carlos Ruiz. Hunter Pence is the 6-hole hitter. Juan Pierre is in left field. He'll bat seventh. Mike Fontenot will hit eighth. And batting ninth and pitching is Kyle Kendrick. And they'll face Braves right-hander Tim Hudson. Hudson 6-4 on the year in 12 starts, a 3.87 earned run average. He had back problems in spring training. They weren't sure how early it would be before he contributed, but he's actually contributed quite well for the Braves.
Oh, this guy's a big-time quality starting pitcher, and he throws a lot of sinkers, and he'll throw quite a few cutters, too. And when he's on, he's a ground ball pitcher. You see what he's done lifetime against the Phillies.
Jimmy Rollins will lead things off. Rollins 4 for 23 on the road trip, a 174 average. And he takes low. Or takes at the knees, I should say, for a strike. It's 0-1.
They have Hudson basically maxing out 89-90 right now. He used to throw a lot harder than that, and a real heavy sinker. But he's become mostly a fastball cutter guy. He'll throw changeup also and occasional curveball.
There's a changeup, bounced on the ground right side. Uglet to his left, one away. Yeah, that'll bring Shane Victorino to the plate. Let's check in with Greg Murphy. There's been a lot of a reaction around the ballpark today to Ryan Howard's return. Don't you think so, Murph?
No doubt about it, Tom. You know, and it's not just the fans here in Philadelphia that are happy to see Ryan Howard back. Also his teammates. You know, you talk about bringing a guy like Ryan Howard back and sticking him in the lineup. You guys talked about it in the open. You know, he makes everybody obviously in the lineup just a little bit better. But I thought Brian Schneider kind of summed it up best. He also makes everybody on the team better. All of a sudden, the bench is better. Gives Charlie some options later in the game that he might not have had when Ryan Howard is not in that locker room. And also, you know, we were in the clubhouse before the game. I know you guys were too. And the difference when you have a guy like Ryan and his personality in that clubhouse, you can hear him from across the room with the big belly laughter that he brings. And it just had a little bit of a different feel. So at every level, adding a guy like Ryan Howard back into the lineup is going to be a good thing for this team.
Well, hopefully he'll get a chance to bat in this inning, Murph, with Chase Utley coming up and 2 outs.
Well, the thing that Utley and Howard do as much as anything, as Murph's talking about down there, is he makes guys that were supposed to be here as bench players or part-time players, that's their role. And the guys who are supposed to be the everyday players are back in their role.
Yeah, the other part, too, is it moves hitters that probably aren't 3-hole hitters or cleanup hitters down to different spots where they probably are more comfortable. I mean, tonight Ruiz bats 5th and Hunter Pence bats 6th. That's a pretty good 5-6 right there.
Should be.
Victorino, after grounding out, gives way to Utley, who takes low. 1 ball and no strikes. Utley 4 for 17 on the road trip. And you see his career numbers against Tim Hudson. His average overall at .304 with a couple home runs and 3 runs batted in.
Hudson's come out and thrown 2 ground ball outs, and that's his game. The ball's on the ground and it's hit weakly. Tim Hudson's pitching well.
But it's kind of a different approach than, as you mentioned, that what you're used to.
Well, he used to really throw hard, heavy sinker. Here's Carlos Ruiz. Been hit by a pitch 13 times this year. Hunter Pence, Tom mentioned, in the 6-hole tonight. But yeah, when you look at, as Howard's on deck, as you look at what Hudson has become, you know, he's a veteran pitcher now. He just doesn't have the bullets he used to have, which is normal. But he knows how to pitch and compete.
1 ball, 1 strike to count up, and he takes outside. 2-1. Charlie Manuel, I was with him earlier today doing some different things, and he hadn't talked to Ryan Howard yet. We're debating on whether to do this one piece for his TV show about the big piece, as that ball is pulled toward first on 1 hop to Freddie Freeman. Phillies go down in order, and anyway, he said after a minute, he goes, you know what, he's going to be in there tonight. There's no doubt about it. So there is no doubt about it. He's in there. He'll get a chance to bat in the 2nd inning as Kyle Kendrick goes back to work when we return. At-Bat 12 app for your iPhone, iPad, Android, BlackBerry, and Windows Mobile. Get live audio, pitch tracking, video highlights, and more. Text At-Bat to 31826 or visit Phillies.com for details. Freddie Freeman leads it off here in the top of the second. It'll be Freeman, McCann, and Ugla against Kyle Kendrick. And the first pitch is upstairs. It's 1-0.
It's hard to believe the Braves go into hitting funks the way that they do at this line, because they have so much potential. But it happens, and they'll go into it, and they go into it with a lot of guys all of a sudden don't hit at one time. But when you look at the hitters they run out against you that Freddie Gonzalez has, you think they should just tear it up offensively.
Yeah, and they're not alone either in the league. The Marlins are the same kind of team. I think from top to bottom, the Braves have a better offensive lineup. But they do the same thing.
Yep.
Brian McCann, who's on deck, he's been struggling somewhat. Jason Hayward and Michael Bourne have not lately. Outside 3-1.
Yeah, Ugla's really struggled, who will be up in this inning, but I would think his eyes lit up the minute the bus got here today, and he walked in this place because he loves this ballpark. There he is.
3-2 the count to Freddie Freeman. On the flip side, Kyle Kendrick in his last 4 starts has allowed 5 runs against the Twins in the first 2 innings, 2 runs against the Jays in the first inning. Against Tampa, he allowed 3 runs in the second, and against Pittsburgh, that was his last start, he allowed 5 runs in the first. So the first couple of innings have really been an issue for him. There's a fly ball to left. Pierre is backpedaling the whole way. And 1 away here in the second. I think one of the comments that folks have found odd after Kyle's last start, when he gave up 5 runs and put the Phillies in a quick hole in the first inning, came after the game where he said, like, well, I thought I pitched well. I gave my team a chance to win. But it's really difficult when you're down 5-0, to get yourself rolling again. It was a credit to his teammates that they at least made that a game before they wound up losing.
Well, we talked about it as it was happening that day. It was 95 degrees. It was a day game after a tough night game loss. And all of a sudden you're down 5-0. That knocks the wind right out of your sails at the beginning of a game.
Brian McCann is behind 0-1. He rolls that one to shortstop. Rollins has plenty of time, and there are 2 outs. During the 2012 season, Turkey Hill will contribute $100 for each Phillies victory and 5 cents for each carton of Phillies Graham Slam ice cream, sold to support the Phillies youth baseball and softball programs. Visit thehill.com, Wheels. Visit the Hill.
Yeah, Turkey Hill. Good stuff. Now, Ugla is in a 9 for 85, which quickly computes to 106.
Under 100 in his last dozen games. And the first pitch breaking ball is in there for a strike. It's 0-1. Ugla was 2 for 29 earlier this week for the Braves.
But this has always been a ballpark that lit him up when he was with the Marlins, and even now that he's been over with the Braves, he's hit some homers here.
Towering pop-up. It'll find its way into shallow center field. Rollins will give way to Victorino, and the side is retired. Great job by Kendrick. 2 scoreless. Ryan Howard's coming up when we return. Ryan Howard was shown on the big video board earlier tonight during warm-ups. There was an equally impressive response by the crowd. And I'm sure as he gets ready to hit for the first time, when Dan Baker introduces him for the first time this year, the response will be as chilling as it was when Chase Utley was introduced for the first time this year. Here we go.
Number 6, first baseman, Ryan Howard.
Ryan said he sorely missed the game, and well, guess what? The game sorely missed Ryan Howard.
And the game is not overshifting him right out of the chute in the old Ryan Howard shift.
1 ball and no strikes the count to him. And he hits one in the air, center field. That one's deep, going back is board. It may stay in the yard. It does. Ryan Howard hustling the second. He'll be there with a leadoff double. I'll tell you what, for a moment, it looked like he may have duplicated what Chase Utley did, but as everybody knows, during Ryan Howard's career, he's got a little backspin on the baseball.
Yeah, he got topspin on that one, and that's why it came down in a hurry. And Tom already talked about how he's going to run. He's not going to be able to. He never was fast, and he's not going to be able to run maybe as fast right now. We'll see what happens as his career goes along. But a lot of balls he hit, he doesn't have to run real fast.
Ball was hit pretty far.
Yeah, and Bourne was playing him in left center field, and he couldn't get to it. He gets to everything.
Here's Ruiz, who chops it foul, and it's 0-1.
Take a couple hits to score him, if they're singles. But Michael Bourne, he can run down the ball with anybody in center field, and he was playing well. They play Ryan Howard to left center in the outfield, and of course play him to pull in the infield.
A little electricity right off the bat.
Yeah, that was fun.
Carlos, .355 with 13 home runs, 46 runs batted in. And he takes a curveball for a strike. 0-2 the count. Carlos has a 5-game hitting streak, although he's dropped out of the top spot in the majors in hitting. He's now 3rd overall. Howard leads off second. Little looper to right field. Hayward comes in, and he makes the catch for the first out. So Carlos is retired. He tried to go the other way. Something's wrong with Tim Hudson. Freddie Gonzalez and Jeff Porter, the athletic trainer, are both coming out. I wonder if he hurt his back. The back has been an issue for him. That's one of the reasons why he was a little delayed starting this year.
Doing a lot of bending over, that's for sure.
Yep. Well, watch as he delivers this pitch here. It looked like he slipped a little bit, didn't it?
Yep. And he comes up gimpy.
You wonder if he turned his ankle. I couldn't tell on the pitch. But he looked immediately into the dugout and then put his hands on his knees.
Nightmare for a team, any team, of course, is when this sort of stuff happens and you start thinking, all right, who's my long man?
Well, they're starting to stir a little bit. Delgado's in the bullpen for the Braves.
Yeah, that's one thing about this weekend. You have some starters that you can use. Like the Phillies have already said they could use Cliff Lee this weekend.
Correct.
If they had to. So in this case, that you wouldn't necessarily have to go to a long man. You could use the other starter, Delgado. He says he's all right.
Yeah, he's saying he's okay. He's going to at least try to continue here in the second. There's Doc, who Phillies hope his bullpen session over the All-Star break is going to be fruitful, because that means he could be back soon. They could be in there just talking about what Hudson did, because as we said, he's had back issues, but he landed a little odd as he came to the plate. So he'll continue. 1 out here in the bottom of the second. Howard at second base. Hunter Pence is the batter.
Playing him pretty much straight away in the outfield.
Pence is 5 for 13 lifetime against Hudson. He's riding a 10-game hitting streak. It takes low. 1 ball and no strikes. The lucky McDonald's Phillies home run jackpot contestant is Elise Rothenberger from Boyertown. That's the second contestant from Boyertown the last week. Phillies hit a home run in today's ball game. Then Elise will win $200.
Threw it at 89, and that's where his fastball's been so far. He's a long strider, as you see. Hudson really uses his lower body a lot, and he wasn't comfortable on that delivery.
Low again, 2-0. He's working on the mound a little bit. He's slipping a little bit on that mound.
Yeah, they're going to keep Delgado up, too. They're not going to take any chances.
Actually, that might be Martinez now. It was Delgado before stretching.
Okay.
Yeah, Martinez.
Yeah, that's a guy more accustomed to bullpen work, Christian Martinez.
Count is 2-0 to Pence. And he lines one just foul.
Ryan Howard could have scored easily on that.
Yes, he could have.
The ball's hooking down the line and foul. They're coming back out again.
Yeah, so this is going to be it. They just don't like what they're seeing, whether it be the way he's reacting after each pitch or the way he's landing.
He's trying to tell Jeff Porter he's all right.
Wheels, I don't know what the rule is if they have to do anything. Not that there's a scheduled visit. You know, you're only allowed 2 visits. That this doesn't apply because it's 2 medical trips. I think he's just saying that he's slipping on the foot of the mound. And Freddie Gonzalez just asked Brian McCann, you know, probably the same things that he was asking Hudson, how he looks, how's he reacting.
Well, they don't want him to stay out there if he's hurt. Now, if they think there's something with the mound, they want him to work on that a little bit. They'll ask the ground crew. You watch the home plate umpire when he comes back, he'll always point to the other dugout and he'll wave whether or not that was a trip to the mound or not. Which would answer your question about how many times you can do this.
Yeah, Tim Hudson just said, I'm all right. So they're going to let him continue again.
See, he just did it.
Yeah, Jerry Lane just waved off the visit.
As he walks back, he puts the hand down, waves it off. Here's the last pitch. He just threw to Hunter Pence. It was a high, looked like a high sinker.
He looked more stable there than he had before.
He didn't slip there.
Maybe he just didn't like the location.
Well, he's lucky. He knows it should be 1-0. It could be 1-0.
Grounder back to the box. Hudson bobbles. Pence is thrown out. 2 outs. And it'll bring Juan Pierre to the plate. Pierre in his last 29 ball games has hit .340. That's lifted his average back to .317. See his career numbers against Tim Hudson. Now that Ryan Howard's back, it's eliminated some time and some at bats over at first base. Now he's not going to play every day, but it means that left field is going to be a prime spot for guys to get some ABs. And I think we're at the point where Charlie Manuel will say, whoever the hot hand is will get a chance to play more often than not. Now he still could platoon Mayberry against lefties, Pierre against righties. Ty Wigginton will probably fill in at first for Ryan Howard from time to time. The ball is hit on the ground to second, so the leadoff double by Ryan Howard is wasted by the Phils. No runs, 1 hit, 1 man left in scoring position, and the big piece has his first extra base hit. We go to the 3rd here in Philadelphia in a scoreless ball game. Next up, the fans trivia question. Log on to Phillies.com, go to the fans section for all the information, and please submit your answer on the subject line. All right, Wheels, here's the question. Name the last Phillies catcher before Carlos Ruiz to make the All-Star team. Be nice if he gave the year, too. I don't know if that is definitely needed, but it would be nice if he gave the year, just for perspective.
Well, there's two guys you think about right away, but, well, we'll come back to that later.
7th inning.
Yeah.
Scoreless as we go to the third. Simmons, Hudson, and Bourne. Those are the scheduled hitters. Simmons, a rookie. Phillies did not see him earlier this year. Tyler Pasternicki was the starting shortstop. But from all reports, this youngster, who's 22 years old, has taken the Braves by storm.
Oh, they're just raving about him. They say he's a ball player, too, that he knows the game. He's from Curacao. Grew up with who else but Andrew Jones as his idol. And went to a junior college in Oklahoma where he was signed. They say, you think he's a good offensive player. They say, where do you see him play shortstop?
Yeah, he was a second-round pick in 2010 by the Braves. And a foul tip into the glove of Ruiz, and it's 1-2.
Seen him play a few games on TV, and he is really graceful at shortstop. He's tall, he's thin, and he has a tremendous arm.
Braves weren't looking for a whole lot of offense from shortstop position. They just didn't think that Pasternicki was making the cut defense.
Right. Well, this kid's out of Double-A too. That's as high as he's gone. They brought him right up from Mississippi, the Double-A club.
Swing and a miss. Good pitch by Kendrick. First strikeout, one away, and that'll bring Tim Hudson to the plate.
He's a really good changeup tonight, this Kyle Kendrick, and he's using it effectively. This looked like one here. See if it's a changeup or cut. That's a changeup, and it really dove out of the zone. You know, he's throwing it to a right-handed hitter there.
So Simmons is retired. Hudson's a 136 hitter this year. Pretty good athlete. He's got some pop. And he hits the first pitch off his foot, which is significant because Joe Simpson, who does the Braves TV, came in between innings and told us, he said, oh, yeah, I forgot to tell you that Tim Hudson has bone spurs in that lead ankle. And he had a cortisone shot, I guess, about 2 weeks ago. And it hasn't bothered him on the mound until tonight. So it's the first time that they've seen it bother him.
It's got to feel like someone puts a knife in your ankle if you have bone spurs.
He just fouled that first pitch off. Takes low, 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Speaking of broadcasters that are here tonight, how about Dale Murphy's in town doing
Murph.
radio for the Braves? He's one of the great guys ever played this game and a fringe Hall of Famer for a long time.
Called strike 3. Hudson's down looking. There are 2 outs.
2-time most valuable player.
There he is.
And if it's possible, when you heard all the nice things about him, he was even nicer when you got to know him. That is a good guy right there.
Was he nice to you tonight, Wills?
Hey, give me a hug. He almost killed me.
You're not a hugger.
I'm not a hugger, but what are you going to say when Murph comes after you? Not a hugger.
Michael Bourne takes outside it high. It's 1-0.
That guy is great, though, Tom. You'd love to be around him.
He could hit.
Oh, my goodness. Well, Philly's got him. You know, he was near the end, but what a career he had.
Bourne lines it to left. Pierre makes the catch on the glove side. And it's a second straight 1-2-3 inning for Kyle Kendrick. Kyle's come out of the chute throwing strikes. That's a good thing as we go to the bottom of the third. Mike Fontenot leads it off here in the bottom of the third, and he takes a strike from Tim Hudson. Fontenot getting a start at third base today. Charlie Manuel wanted to give Polanco another day off. It's going to be interesting to see how the lineup works out for the weekend. Fontenot, though, has been swinging the bat pretty good lately. And it's 1 ball and 1 strike. I say that because I think everybody wants to see the entire lineup intact on a consistent basis. But tomorrow, Ryan won't play, Howard. Sunday, Chase Utley may or may not play. Although, you know, he could find himself in the lineup for 3 straight days because of the All-Star break.
Yeah, that's a little bit up in the air. The Howard situation isn't. At least before the game it wasn't.
Right, and that could change tomorrow. And obviously Polanco's not in the lineup tonight, but he'll be in the lineup tomorrow and Sunday.
Well, this is a guy that drilled Polanco a couple of years ago, Hudson. So this is a good guy not to face.
Over toward the hole, Simmons backhands. And looked like Fontenot may have beat that.
He beat that, didn't he?
He looked like he did. Bob Davidson.
Guess not. Boy, what a throw, though. We just got finished talking about Simmons, how he can throw. How about the way he planted and threw that laser?
Well, you had to hurry because Fontenot was hustling.
Yeah, Fontenot's not a real good runner, but coming out of the box.
I don't think he got it by half a step, man.
Good call.
Yep, just barely got him.
Nice call. What an arm.
Oh, thank you.
That was a tracer he threw over there from a pretty good distance, too.
Kyle Kendrick, a 129 career hitter. Fly ball center field, and Bourne, who was playing in a little bit, backpedals and settles under it. Phillies baseball is brought to you by Nissan's National 10 event. For a limited time, get bonus cash at Ultima and Rogue. Visit ChooseNissan.com or your local dealer. By McDonald's. Now at McDonald's, any size soft drink or sweet tea is just $1. By W.B. Mason. You can't go wrong when you buy right. And by Mazda. We believe if it's not worth driving, it's not worth building. Rollins grounded out his first time up. No score, bottom of the third.
Jimmy Rollins, how often does he bunt? That's rhetorical. Not often, if at all. And Chipper Jones is way up at third.
In the air to right field. Hayward over toward the track. On the track, makes the catch. The side is retired. The Phillies go down 1-2-3. So nothing solved after 3. On to the fourth. Braves nothing. Phillies nothing. Ads at great prices like Scotch Magic Tape, which tapes, repairs, then magically disappears from who? But W.B. Mason. Gary Matthews joins us up here in the booth.
Got your tape?
We have some magical Scotch tape from W.B. Mason. Sarge's earpiece is falling off his headset. Can you hear okay?
Oh, I hear fine.
Is it uncomfortable?
A little bit.
Martin Prado leads it off here in the fourth.
Must have stuck up on them, let them know I was coming in. Yeah, well, asking you shall receive.
Got some gaffer's tape there. Prado hit into a double play his first time up. He lines that one, caught by Jimmy Rollins. And there's one away. A reminder, the Braves and the Phils will wrap up the first half tomorrow and then Sunday. Tickets are still available for both days. Tommy Hanson against Joe Blanton tomorrow. Jair Jurgens against Vance Worley, and everybody else on Sunday, because everybody will most likely be available for that ball game. Order your tickets now by going to Phillies.com. There's Big Joe getting ready for tomorrow's start. Jason Hayward takes a fastball outside. It's 1-0.
Well, Jason's starting to hit with a little bit of confidence. 276 here so far. Good power numbers, 14 home runs.
348 in the month of June.
Well, they've always said that he does have great potential. What they have to do, sort of like the Phillies, got to get guys hitting at the same time.
Guy who had a fantastic rookie season. Did not have a great sophomore year. That was last year. Now in his third year, he's the number 3 hitter for the Braves. 2-1 pitch to him. Try to change up. It floats outside. And it's 3-1.
Well, sometimes, too, that sophomore year, you go into that season feeling like you're going to get ready to do some damage. But then if you start off slow, very difficult because you haven't gone through that before.
That one's hit hard through the hole on the right side. A 1-out single for Hayward. He's 2 for 2. So he's aboard for Chipper Jones. Chipper Jones fly to left his first time up. How about Chipper Jones batting cleanup again? He's been that good for the Atlanta Braves. I mean, it may be one of the last times that we see him, which is a good thing, looking at his career numbers. But he's back hitting cleanup.
Yeah, this guy here is just a legit hitter, true switch hitter, one of the better switch hitters of all time, believe it or not. That's why he gets booed in a lot of stadiums that he goes to. I mean, you're not getting booed when you go into stadiums. Usually you're not doing much damage.
It tells you how good a player he's been. 460 home runs in his career. 2,668 hits. There's a fly ball to right. Looks like the ballpark will keep it. And there are 2 outs. But everywhere Chipper goes this year in his final visit, he's presented with gifts. Whether it be Yankee Stadium, it doesn't matter where he's going. Were you presented with any gifts in your last tour of duty?
No, they were glad to get rid of me like my last year. For sure, they weren't giving me any gifts. But you know what? That's a good thing, though. I think Chipper should be getting gifts. He's done a lot for the game there. Usually guys that do that. Cal Ripken was a player that got gifts. Tony Gwynn, another player. So Chipper Jones should fall right into that. I'm wondering what the Fighting Phils would maybe give him.
Give him a plane ticket out of town is what they
thinking
did.
The same thing.
Nearly picked off Jason Hayward on that attempt by Kyle Kenner. Well, Chipper Jones is going to go to Kansas City for this year's All-Star game. Even with interleague play, he's never been to Kauffman Stadium. And that was a close play there.
Yeah, I mean, he was really close to the bag. It was just almost like he was falling right back down there, almost too close to the bag.
Freddie Freeman's the hitter. He flied to left his first time up. 1 ball, no strikes to count to Freeman.
So another one of their young hitters. It's kind of tailed off some. He was very hot at the beginning of the season. But you bet, this is one of those 2 guys they have in the lineup you can build your club around, and sooner or later they're going to find it where they're hitting for average and driving in runs.
Slow chopper to second base. Chase Utley will gobble it up. And another clean inning for Kyle Kenner. He has pitched well through 4. Let's see if the Phils offense can get something rolling when we return. Kendrick out of the chute here. So we go to the bottom of the fourth, and they're looking for more than just the Ryan Howard double against Tim Hudson. It'll be Victorino, Utley, and Ryan, 2, 3, and 4 against Hudson. And Hudson delivers a strike to Victorino. It's 0-1. Charlie has decided, at least for tonight, to move Victorino to the 2-hole and Juan Pierre down to the 7-hole. I talked to him earlier today about his lineup and how he was going to structure things. What are your thoughts, Sarge, on why he would move Pierre down and Victorino up?
Well, a little bit maybe more, don't want to say contact, maybe being able to maybe drive the ball a little bit further in that spot. And keep in mind, both of them are pretty good runners.
Fly ball to center, excuse me.
But I think with Victorino, though, in the second spot, he will get more fastballs there, especially with Utley behind them. And I think for sure that he's trying to jump-start him, trying to get him going, trying to get him hot. Usually the more fastballs you see, the easier it is to be able to hit. But he's been starting a little bit slow with that leg kick. Needs to get ready, a little sooner. Therefore, you're not going to get jammed.
Chase does not have an extra base hit as a left-handed hitter since the Orioles series against Jake Arrieta. He does have an extra base hit as a right-handed hitter over the last few weeks, but it was back on June 15th.
Yeah, and keep in mind a lot of times too, it'll get into your head about your hitting. But I've said it and talked with Shane a lot of times too, when you're not hitting, he can bunt the ball even if Chipper Jones is up because of his speed. And you start that way. You start with one hit, maybe one walk. Not so much about how many hits you're getting as your approach, which will allow you to get more hits.
0-2 the count to Chase with Howard on deck. Oh, he hit him. That was a fastball at 91 miles an hour, and it never had any of the plate.
Well, that's not that first hitter that Hudson has hit on the fighting fields. Won't be the last. That was one of those pitches, however, he was going to start inside and was going to come back toward the plate. He actually threw it so hard that it didn't get a chance to do that, or started it too far inside.
Howard doubled his first time up at his return. And he takes a breaking ball for ball one. It's 1-0. Here's that swing. It looked really good off the bat.
Well, you come back, and you're right. That ball, though, he centered it. Don't know what kind of route that was that Bourne took in the outfield. Nevertheless, ball was in the gap.
Ryan, during his rehab assignments, was 10 for 20 for the Blue Claws and for the Iron Pigs. He had a home run and 10 runs batted in 7 rehab games. Ruben Amaro said before yesterday's ballgame there was a possibility that he would be in Philadelphia this weekend. And then word started to spread very quickly after the game that possibility was turned out to be tonight.
A lot had to do with him actually playing in the field and also, feeling better. They talked about really bringing him on slowly and so on. I mean, for me, once you're back, when you get a couple of games, you got to be able to go, because if not, you start to maybe favor one other thing and end up hurting that.
Swing and a miss, 2-2.
No, the one thing for him, he always pivots, it seems, on that back leg, and that's the leg that he had the operation on. But that's just the type of hitter that he is. And guess what? You have to pivot on that back foot in order to be really a good hitter. Generate a lot of power that way.
Threw him a curveball and he hit it foul.
And always good, though, to come back on a pitcher that you feel comfortable with.
6 career home runs against Hudson, 18 hits and 53 at bats.
Yeah, and the thing is, too, though, I mean, it's no secret. I mean, he just needs to square the ball up. It will go anywhere. Even though they play him the pull, he's the type of hitter that can hit the ball right through the shift in a lot of instances.
Ground ball toward first. Nice play by Freeman. There's one, and they get Utley for the second out. A double play on a very close ground ball toward the bag at first. So Howard hit it hard. The result, a 3-6 double play. No runs, no hits, and nobody left here in the bottom of the fourth. We've completed our first four in Philadelphia. We move on to the fifth, the Phillies and the Braves. And then Simmons to face Kyle Kendrick. Kendrick so far has allowed only 2 hits. He's walked one. He has not nibbled whatsoever. He's gone right after the Braves hitters. And that's a good thing, I think, Sarge.
Well, he has to. You know, we talked about Kyle's game, too. When he is a lot more aggressive, he's going to get more ground balls simply because he's ahead of the hitters. He can make them hit his particular pitch. Good
plus,
pitch.
Yeah, plus his changeup has been really good tonight.
Doesn't hurt, too. Hitters are in a slump, but nevertheless, I mean, when they've had success against you, they feel good when they see you. Off balance. Don't see McCann off balance like that at all. That would give you an indication that he has been having some problems.
0-2 the count. Again, he reached out for that fastball. Well, the rivalry is renewed, and there's been a lot of offense so far. Top of the second. Yankees on top of the Red Sox 6-5. Curtis Granderson 2 for 2 with a triple. First inning took 42 minutes, and there were 10 runs combined. Josh Beckett was the starting pitcher in that ball game for the Red Sox. He's still in there. Hiroki Kuroda is starting for the Yankees. They'll be out by the 4th or 5th inning. 0-2 pitch. In the dirt. 1-2.
McCann much better hitter than 230 average right now that he has. Month of June, he only hit a .193, 2 home runs, 7 RBIs. Hope he continues that trend. See if he goes away or doubles up inside. Good pitch to move his feet.
A bullet down the right field line, foul. That would constitute a bullet, wouldn't it?
Yeah, that's a changeup that he threw, and he got too much of the plate. That's what I was saying. A lot of times, too, throw inside. Hitter thinks you're going to be going away, especially after you moved his feet.
McCann will step out. This is an 8-pitch at bat so far. McCann, not a member of the All-Star team this year. He's gone to the last 6. Buster Posey, Yadier Molina, Carlos Ruiz will be the catchers for the National League. Ground ball to second. And Kyle Kendrick will win the battle to get McCann. Another ground ball out for Kyle. That'll bring Dan Uggla to the plate. Let's check in with Greg Murphy with his Major League Notebook. Murph, take it away.
All right, thank you very much, T-Mac. Brought to you by Gwinnett Mercy College. You're just talking about the Red Sox and Yankees. Bad news for the Red Sox today as Dustin Pedroia has been placed on the 15-day disabled list with a torn muscle in his thumb. It's the same thumb that's kind of been bothering him all season long. Now on the list, and he won't come back until July the 19th. And you just mentioned the National League catchers in the All-Star game. Well, Yadier Molina is out. He's been placed on the bereavement list because of a death in the family. So replacing him is his teammate, Matt Holliday, which, though, guys, is interesting because, as you mentioned, Tom, now just 2 catchers on the National League's team.
Yeah, and I guess how it works, Murph, and it's been this way the last couple of years, is let's say if Carlos Ruiz or Buster Posey, let's say if Carlos, who fills in for Buster, gets taken out of the ball game and something happens, then Buster can go back in. You know, they can reinsert the catcher into the lineup. Murph, are they chanting for you out there?
They are out here.
Really?
A group of people.
Sarge, Murph's
Tom,
got people chanting.
I didn't hear a word you said. I was too busy enjoying that.
Soak it in, Murph. Soak it in. Simmons takes a ball. It's 1 ball and no strikes.
There they are.
There's your group.
Yeah, cheer that way, guys. There you go.
Can you get them all to stand up, Murph, and then sit back down again?
But as you were saying, Tom, yeah.
No, I was finished, Murph. I'm all set.
As am I. There's your Major League Notebook brought to you by Gwinnett Mercy College, guys.
All right, thank you.
You got it.
1 ball, no strikes, the count to Simmons, who struck out his first time up. Ground ball to shortstop. He'll get at least the lead runner. And that'll be it. 2 outs. And the pitcher's coming up.
I think that hit by pitch for me with Kyle Kendrick was a kind of a message type sender.
That's a good thing.
Oh yeah, well, I mean, again, when you're doing it in a way where it's down, and you notice Uggla, who is a true professional, didn't do anything other than to go right to the bag. Don't see anything wrong with that, and not only that, builds character. Call that protecting your teammates. Really haven't seen them do that hardly at all this year. Actually, for me, one of the first times. And that is after one of their teammates have been hit.
Popped him up. Howard, foul territory. He'll call off Ruiz. And the side is retired. Well, he moved downhill pretty nicely to make the play on that pop-up onto the bottom of the 5th in a scoreless game. More IIHS safety picks than any other brand. Go further. Visit your Quality Plus Ford store today. Buy Xfinity, the official HD triple play provider of your Phillies. Buy Thomas Jefferson University Hospital. Call 1-800-JEFF now for an appointment. And buy Chevrolet. See your local Chevy dealer or visit ChevyDealer.com. Whole half of the fifth. It'll be Carlos Ruiz, Hunter Pence, Juan Pierre. And it's Tim Hudson. Got a pitcher's duel, Sarge.
Yeah. When you really need your concentration and playing good defense, picking out good pitches to hit.
That was a stinger. There's going to be some bees going on in the hands of Carlos Ruiz. That was right in on his knuckles.
Yeah, he usually too. That ball was inside and kept running inside. Hard sinker. And watch how the ball starts to run there. See how he starts it inside? By the time you get that bat hit out there, and Carlos knew it, just wasn't going to be able to get the good wood on that on the ball.
He's not going to use those batting gloves anymore either. Pence takes a strike, 0-1. Hunter hit it back to the box his first time up.
Yeah, this guy here has excellent control. That's why when batters get hit, you wonder whether or not it was on purpose or not, just because of the control that he has. When he was pitching with Oakland, he ended up doing that to Barry Bond as he hit him. And Barry took exception to that and told him every time he sees him, he's going to hit a home run. Just about did that.
Fly ball center field. Well, if you're a hitter, that's the perfect way to pay back a pitcher that knocks you down or hits you. In fact, during these A's years, the 6 years of the A's, Hudson 92 and 39. Wow. San Francisco Giants, Barry Bonds' former team, will be in town Friday, July 20th to start a 3-game series. 7:05, and then the Saturday ball game, which is already sold out. Sunday the 22nd at 1:35. Pico Roy Halladay Fathead Jr. Free to fans 14 and under. Order your tickets now by heading to Phillies.com. Oh, and 1 the count to Pierre. Slaps it over to third. This is going to be an easy inning for Tim Hudson. Boy, he's at 44 pitches through 5 innings. So both pitchers are handling the other team's offense. That's a 6-pitch 5th inning for Tim Hudson. We move to the top of the 6th inning. The Braves nothing, the Phillies nothing. But first in the National League is Jonathan Papelbon, who closed the door on his first 17 save opportunities for his new team. The trio being selected to Kansas City is brought to you by Independence Blue Cross. Now more than ever, we're here for you every step of the way. Well, Carlos Ruiz, as Murph reported, is one of 2 catchers that will be representing the National League this year in the All-Star game. The other being Buster Posey. We go to the top of the 6th. The top of the order is due up for the Braves. This is Salute to Veterans Night here at the ballpark. Prior to the game, the Phillies honored veterans from World War II on. World War II, the Korean conflict, the Vietnam War. It's kind of neat to see all the flags out around the infield.
Yeah.
Michael Bourne is 0 for 1. He walked his first time up. Good changeup. Oh, boy. I don't know what he's doing differently tonight, Sarge, but it's really good.
Good arm motion on the changeup, looking as if it's a fastball coming out of his hand. That's the deception you need. Oh, good pitch. Chipper Jones for sure said that Michael Bourne is first half their MVP. Thought he had an outside chance maybe to make that all-star team.
Line drive caught by Chase Utley. That was smoked right at the Phil's second baseman.
Well, let me tell you something. This ball, and that's a good indication where it looks like it's getting ready to take off. That had some top spin on it as that ball. Chase gets up. Now the ball hooks almost right back down. Hand quicker than the eye, by the way, as he gets up there and catches it, thinking about it at the same time. Just an athletic play.
He's ready again for Martin Prado. And Prado takes a change up for strike 1. You'd be hard pressed to find a 1-2 combination right now in the National League that's better than these two. Bourne and Prado, just, with the runs scored, the average combined, the multi-hit games, all that stuff.
You have a leadoff man. He's got 106 hits already, on his way to 200.
No appeal, and he went around, says Bob Davidson. Another strikeout for Kendrick. That's his 3rd. Carlos knew it. Carlos seemed to know it.
It usually almost go either way. But, oh, yeah, it's a swing.
All he needed to do was to be asked, Bob Davidson. Jerry Lane's the crew chief. Dan Bellino's at second. Mike McClinsky's over at third. Jason Hayward, the hitter. Swing and a miss. He has the 2 hits for the Braves.
He still has a bit of a long swing. Once he shortens that up, he's going to even be a better hitter. When I say long, it just takes him a longer time to get to the ball, to get the barrel to the ball. Short swings, meaning you have slow feet, you get there a little bit quicker.
Rockies have taken a 3-0 lead over the Nationals. Tyler Colvin has 2 home runs in the first 4 innings. Phillies trailed the Nationals by 13 games in the division. And a foul tip into the glove of Carlos Ruiz, and it's a 1-2-3 6th inning for Kyle Kendrick. 3 1-2-3 innings tonight for Kendrick, and he is on top of his game. He's through 6. We go to the bottom of the 6th. So you buy Toyota. Every new Toyota purchase comes with Toyota Care. Buy Anheuser-Busch, Smooth Busch Beer, and easy drink at Busch Light. Buy Citizens Bank, we're for homes. Talk to us today about how we can help guide you to the loan that's right for you. And buy Jeep. Visit Jeep.com to learn more. Mike Fontenot, Kyle Kendrick, top of the order against Tim Hudson. Scoreless game, just 3 hits combined. Neither team's had many base runners. The only hit for the Phillies, a double by Ryan Howard. The only hits for the Braves off the bat of Jason Hayward.
Pretty good changeup. Both pitchers throwing the ball around the plate. Great to see Kyle Kendrick being able to be aggressive, and that was showing the guys what it's all about. Good things happen when you're aggressive and you're not throwing out over the plate. Get your ground balls, and every now and then when you pluck somebody, hitters become a little less aggressive.
I just think, you know, the way he's been working around the plate, one strike after another, he's matched Tim Hudson pitch for pitch.
No doubt.
3-2 the count now to Fontenot. Fontenot grounded out to short his first time up, his only time up. How about that? We're in the 6th inning. He's only been up 1 time. Just 2 base runners for the Phillies tonight. Ground ball to first. That's a fair ball. Tonight on Sportsnight, highlights, analysis, and reaction to Ryan Howard coming back with the Phils and the latest on the NHL and NBA free agency. Get all the news Philly fans need to know on Sportsnight, presented by Toyota. Tonight after Phillies postgame live only on Comcast Sportsnet. I'm not sure if it's going to rain, but it's nice to be prepared. I don't think it's going to. The sun is setting. You going to put that in your line of hats? Sir?
No, I'm going to let that one pass. Although, you know, we used to have a line of hats like that. It was Lou Brock. We used to call them Brockabella hats.
Like that?
Yes, just exactly like that. Exactly like that.
I don't see. I've seen him a couple of times this year, or the last couple of years. I don't see him wearing those hats anymore.
I don't either. Trend is over.
Or just beginning again.
Well, that's if it's raining. It's okay. But
3-0 the count to Kendrick. He's changed his stance back, Sarge. His hands are up again. Not down anymore. He tinkered with that for a little while.
What does that do for him?
I do not know. You're the hitting savant. Kendrick thought it was ball 4. I did too. Three and 2 the count to Kendrick. And he rockets one foul.
Well, that's what it does. It makes you get through that ball a little bit better when it's on the inside part of the plate.
Budweiser, through the Walk Off a Hero program, will donate $5,000 to Folds of Honor for every Phillies walk-off win. Please join Budweiser and the Phillies in honoring those who keep our nation safe and free. Kendrick doing a little battle in here.
Got to give him some credit, following off pitch after pitch. Well, usually when you're following off pitches, I mean, advantage usually becomes to the hitter, as long as he doesn't throw a wrinkle.
Ground ball to shortstop. Simmons waited on it for a moment. 2 outs here in the 6th, and Kyle's going to get a nice round of applause. Effort, Sarge.
Yep, and that's what you're talking about. Notice how Jimmy Rollins just wasting some time there to make sure that Kyle kind of goes and gets on the bench after running as far as he did, hard as he did. See whether or not he takes the first pitch too. I always want that pitcher to catch his breath, so it's up to the leadoff hitter to give him some time in doing that. Borderline at best.
That's a pitcher's pitch right there. 1-1 the count to Rollins.
Sure sinker if you swing at it. See Hudson trying to go down there again to try and get a ground ball. J-Ro in the driver's seat. He can actually look for a pitch to try and drive. You're not trying to hit this ball out. You're just trying to square it up. If it goes out, just great. Don't want to uppercut on these.
Base hit to right field. That's a nice swing.
Yep. Well, that's exactly what I'm talking about. That's having a good approach right there, and you got good results. The better approaches you have at the plate, easier it is to be able to get hits. Take a look at the stroke. Foot down. There's his foot down as he pulls that ball right in the hole. That's okay for him, too, because J-Ro is on top of the plate.
So now Victorino, who's 0 for 2. He's grounded out to third. He's fly to center. Again, Chipper Jones in on the grass at third.
J-Ro should be thinking about trying to get over to second base, especially with the 2 outs, and when you have a pitcher's duel like it is right now so far, that 1 run becomes big.
Victorino takes a breaking ball for a strike. You saw where Chipper was playing. That leaves that side kind of open for Victorino, but he tapped it to that spot his first time up.
Yeah, it almost doesn't have that type of swing. I mean, to drive it that way. Yes, that's what he's supposed to be doing on an outside pitch, driving it the other way.
Ground ball through the whole right side. Rollins on his way to third. He'll get there. And the Phillies have first and third for Chase Utley. First time tonight the Phillies have had 2 base runners aboard. First time tonight they've had a runner over at third.
Yeah, that's the kind of action, though, that Charlie was hoping to be able to get Jimmy Rollins on first base. Victorino pulling the ball in the hole. J-Ro going all the way to third base. Take a look at him. Willie Mays-like as he looks back to see if the throw is coming.
And Rollins is safe at third, safe and secure with New York Life. So a chance for Utley to give the Phillies the lead. And Utley grounds it to first. On the first pitch, Freddie Freeman will end the inning. The Phillies do threaten but do not score. So Hudson has held the Phils scoreless through 6. So has Kyle Kendrick as we move to the 7th. Return going on here tonight. Ryan Howard's return from his rehab assignment. Said he was ready to go a couple days ago. Well, he looked ready to go in his first at bat when he drilled a double to right center field. The fans certainly took advantage of some photo opportunities. That's a nice swing right there. Just nice to have him back in the middle of the lineup and hopefully producing for the Phils. It's our Coors Light Freeze Cap brought to you by Frost Brewed Coors Light.
How about this? Nothing. Both these guys have been good. Tim Hudson pitching his game, a lot of ground balls. Kyle Kendrick has done a tremendous job with the off-speed stuff. Jones loves to swing first pitch. There you go. Done it all 3 times tonight, and they've started him with off-speed stuff all 3 times tonight. And that time he hit a changeup. Maybe he was even looking for one.
Well, it's just the 3rd hit for the Braves, so each team now with 3 hits. And it's now a 12-game hitting streak for Chipper Jones. Freddie Freeman's 0 for 2. Kyle's only thrown 74 pitches. I mean, Hudson's less than that.
Yeah, both of them get a lot of easy, quick outs. Balls haven't been hit hard. He's trying to run a change or a fastball away from him there to get a sinker, turn it over into 2, and he took the first pitch. Tried it again. That one's over. Freeman will hit the ball the other way. The guy's really strong. Can hit it out to center, left center when he looks out there. If you're not looking out there, you might get him to roll one over.
Jones not a threat to run. He has stolen 1 base this year. Short lead off first. And a 2-seamer that missed. And it's 3-1.
There was a time when Chipper Jones could run and steal bags too.
Brian McCann in the on-deck circle.
Well, the way these guys are throwing ground balls tonight, Freddie Gonzalez may gamble here and start the runner. Try and stay out of a ground ball double play. Chipper early in his career stole 20 and 25 bases, 14 another year. That was a long time ago.
6 ground ball outs for Kendrick, right, 13 for Hudson.
That's why I think they may run here, because they think they're more likely to ground into one than strike out into one.
3-2 the count to Freddie Freeman. Jones does not go, and the pitch is lined into left field, a base hit.
That's Freeman. He will hit the ball the other way and hit it hard.
So back-to-back hits now for the Braves. The Phillies did that in their half of the 6th, but did not score.
Yeah, but there were 2 outs.
2 outs.
Yeah, now there's nobody out. And they're going to have to think about, I don't know, that they bunt with McCann in this ballpark. See him hit the ball the other way. He's really good at that. Nah, especially with Uglo and Deck, who's been struggling, you would think they'll swing away here.
79 pitches, as we mentioned. Kendrick's pitch count is low, but it looks like Michael Schwimmer is going to start to throw in the bullpen for the Phillies. This has been a very good outing for Kendrick, but he's given up 2 hits to start this inning, and he nearly balked there.
Sure did.
I'll be honest with you, I'm surprised they didn't call it, because he didn't step off. He was leaning off, but he didn't step off until after there was some odd movement.
Well, you know, if you do everything and you keep doing it, they'll usually let you get away with it.
There's a strike. It's 0-1. Let's look at it again just to see.
It was very awkward looking. See, he steps off. Yeah, that's all right.
Okay, yeah, he was all right. It almost looked like from our angle his legs were all twisted up.
Yeah, it looked like his spike caught a little bit as he was stepping off.
Fly ball, right field line. Pence is over, and it's back a row. I don't know who that fan, but it was
there.
Yeah.
Pence was running to a spot, and the spot wasn't where the ball came down. See, Pence is running to a spot, and right there, it's behind him.
Yeah, I think if Hunter was there, he had a better chance, but he was just getting over there.
Leave that guy alone out there. That was all right.
Here comes the 0-2 pitch from Kendrick to Brian McCann. And a called strike 3 right on the inside part of the plate. That's a good pitch. Yeah, 5 strikeouts.
That's that run and sinker. Boy, if you can do that to a left-handed hitter and make it run back like that, they're going to freeze. Great 2-strike pitch. See Chooch slide inside. They run the sinker back, and that's a strike. Now you have to hope the umpire calls it.
Carlos didn't even move his glove.
Well, that can help you get pitches, too, if you sit nice and still like that. Umpires hate it when catchers move around. They'll tell you when they're moving their head, moving their glove, it's hard for them to umpire.
Uggla's 0 for 1. He was hit by a pitch in the 5th. Phillies hoping for a ground ball here. Runners not being held on. Inside with the first pitch. It's 1-0. Chad Durbin, the former Phil, is warming up in the bullpen. Up top, Schwimmer and Diekman down below.
They have 2 pretty good left-handed bats on the bench in Hinsky and Francisco.
Ground ball toward third, a foul ball. These lucky fans are tonight's Citizens 7. They will receive a prize pack courtesy of Citizens Bank. Citizens Bank with the most 7-day branches in the Philadelphia area. To find a branch near you, visit citizensbank.com. Off to the right, Wheels.
Yeah, that's here on the club level. Yeah. Hall of Fame level, I mean.
Tied him up with a good pitch again. It's 1-2. Eric Kinski's getting his bat ready. Putting a little of that Manimoto stick on it. That's a combination pine tar rosin mixture.
Manny patented that. Probably helped him a little bit in his retirement.
I would think it would have. Although he's not going to retire, he still travels with the Dodgers.
He still saw him when he was here. The Dodgers were here. He did the toughest job in baseball about as well as anybody. And that's pinch hit. Oh, wow. Thanks.
Nice job, buddy. Congratulations from everybody. Pays to be long and lean. He was able to get that ball without any problems. Camden Catholic basketball, Wheels.
Nice, too. Hands it to that little kid. The look on his face was great.
Got him out front. Ryan Howard in foul territory. Infield fly rule is called if it's a fair ball. And there are 2 outs.
Boy, did he fool Uggla on that. Kyle throws a lot of cutters. He'll throw an occasional slider. And where you're wanting to throw to Uggla here is a breaking ball if you can. This thing goes well. It's a slider, it looked like, because it had a lot of tilt to it. Oh, he got him way off balance. Now, you don't have wiggle room here with Simmons because they'll hit for Hudson, of course, at this point in the game. So, maybe Ruiz is going to go out right now and remind Kyle Kendrick, okay, we got to get this guy. Because if we don't, you're probably gone.
Apple Vacations Photo Day presented by Iberostar Hotels and Resorts is scheduled for Saturday, July 21st. It's sold out. Fans with tickets for that game are reminded to come out early with their cameras for access to the field to take photos of the 2012 Phillies. Ground ball foul. Freddie Freeman off first. Chipper Jones off second.
Not a lot of speed, but 2 outs, and they'll be gone on the crack of the bat.
Over to third. Fontenot will take it the easy way to the third base bag. Give a hand to Kyle Kendrick. He has really struggled over his last 4 starts, but he hasn't struggled tonight. He has pitched very well through 7. Time to stretch. The Phillies will have some thunder coming up with Howard, Ruiz, and Hunter Pence. Have combined for, or the teams have combined for 7 hits overall. Time now for our cold hard fact, brought to you by Frost Brewed Coors Light. Here you go, Wheels. Here's your cold hard fact. Most home runs and RBIs among all major league players since 2006.
Yeah, well, it'd be nice to just add to those numbers right now in a 0-0 game off a guy who he has homered off.
Over 3 times in a ball game once. We showed that during the outset of tonight's telecast.
He used all of this ballpark that day, too. Left, center, and right off Tim Hudson.
Not necessarily in that order.
No, not necessarily in that order.
Phillies have managed 3 hits in this ball game. And it's been a quick game so far, so we've got a little the sun is still setting here in Philadelphia.
Still no overshift defense on Ryan Howard, too. You can see that they're just, that they're not playing the 3 over right here. And, maybe that'll change at some point.
You think it's because of his timing, where they don't think that his timing is there? But he certainly showed timing in that first swing.
I don't know. When you look at his history, you're going to play 3 guys on the other side of second base.
Howard takes the first pitch, and it's a strike. It's no balls and 1 strike.
I guarantee you he likes to look at that out there, because that shift, he hits into it a lot. Look at all that room in here.
Howard loops it into center field, his 2nd hit of the night.
Well, they're tempted to run for him, I bet.
But they know that he has a chance to get maybe one more at bat.
Yeah, you're in a scoreless game. If this were the 8th inning, obviously if it were the 9th, they would. If it were the 8th, really think about running for him. Curveball looked like there from Tim Hudson. Good timing there by Ryan Howard. He hit it right at Simmons, but over his head. Gets a foot down. Good swing. Timing's been really good tonight.
Said he's had a lot of at-bats, with extended spring and everything. They play off him at first with Ruiz up. And Carlos takes a fastball for a strike. It's 0-1.
Still think they could be tempted to run for him if he gets in the scoring position.
Yeah, maybe. I just think that last at-bat, the possibility of it is so difficult to pass up.
Right, that's what you're thinking about. But then you're thinking, get the lead and don't worry about the last at-bat. So you get caught in between on it.
Little number to the right. Ugla charges, takes his time, And he gets Ruiz. Thought for a moment that Carlos might beat that out. If only because Ugla took his very sweet time to make that play.
Yeah, he figured he had a slow runner coming out of the box, so he had plenty of time, and it almost cost him. Ugla's playing it really deep, too. You know, they would take a double play there, but they were more conscious with the defense they had set up to not let a ball go through. Hudson really had Carlos Ruiz out front tonight.
Hunter Pence is 0 for 2. He's hit one back to the middle to Hudson and flied out to center. Outside, 1-0. Howard leads off second. Toyota Major League scoreboard up in New York. The Cubs are beating the Mets 7-2. 13 hits for Chicago through 5.
They've been a little bit hot lately. Braves beat them in the final game of that series, but the Cubs have been on a pretty good run. They're going to get out last place the way they're going.
Yeah, they're going to flip-flop with the Astros.
Yeah. Who have not been hot. Prado's really deep in left because he figures he has Howard at second and he can play a little bit deeper on the pull side. See how deep he is. Normally he wouldn't play that deep with a runner in scoring position late in the game like this.
Juan Pierre on deck.
I know it's tough for Hunter Pence. He's not that kind of hitter. This is where you really like to lock in the middle, eliminate half a home plate right now, make Hudson throw you a strike because you still have one left. He beats you with one here.
Okay.
Really missed his spot. He may be getting tired. That thing was supposed to be away and it was inside. And here comes Roger McDowell.
So Roger McDowell comes out to talk to Tim Hudson. It gives us a chance to give you the Dodge Stump the Fans trivia quiz answer. Wheels named the last Phillies catcher before Carlos Ruiz to make the All-Star team.
My guess would be this year's Wall of Fame winner, Mike Lieberthal.
Mike Lieberthal is correct. What year, Wheels?
Oh, boy. Not, let's say 98.
98 would be incorrect, but that was just a bonus question. You would have received 5 extra bonus points at the end of the year.
I'd appreciate it.
It was the year 2000.
Oh, okay.
Log back on to Phillies.com to find out if you're the winner of a Phillies prize pack. And thank you, Wheels, for playing Dodge Stump the Fans.
I remember one year he was the only rep on the team. Maybe that was the year.
Might have been 2000.
Yeah, it probably was because that won a real good year.
Juan Pierre is grounded out twice. Once the second, once the third. And he takes outside 1-0. Chipper Jones weighing on the grass at third.
Yeah, now the outfielders are, of course, very shallow.
I wonder where it needs to be hit in front of the outfielders to score Howard. To right field, Hayward played him perfectly, and nobody will tag on that. I guess we won't find out, at least for this at bat. So Pierre's 0 for 3. Mike Fontenot is up. Fontenot is also grounded out twice. Pitcher spot is due up next, and Jason Pridey's come out in the on-deck circle.
That is the only left-handed bat they have, playing all the other left-handed hitters tonight.
Little number in front of the plate. McCann will pick it up, and that'll do it for the inning. So for the second straight inning, the Phillies threaten but do not score. They get 2 runners on, and Hudson's able to maneuver around those 2 base runners and take us to the 8th. Right now for great deals. Only a Honda is a Honda. Buy the Pennsylvania Lottery. Play Harley Davidson, the new instant game for the Pennsylvania Lottery. Must be 18 years or older to play. Please play responsibly. Buy AT&T. Rethink possible. And buy Acura. Acura Advance. Oh, Wheels, you never know if you come to the ballpark. You may be asked to go up on top of the dugout and dance with the Fanatic. Would you be up for it? No.
That guy's having a ball, though.
He is having a good time.
Yeah. Looks like he's had a fun night. It's hot down there. That's good. The Fanatic helped him get up there.
A little bit of help.
Now Charlie's going to make a move after the announced pinch hitter.
Yeah, Juan Francisco was announced as the pinch hitter. Kyle Kendrick, well, he's been booed at times this year, and he is going to get a resounding round of applause. 7 scoreless innings tonight. He pitched exceptionally well. Good for him. And good for the Phillies, too. So we've got a pitching change here at Citizens Bank Park. Scoreless ball game. Antonio Bastardo's coming in. It's an AT&T call to the bullpen. Begins a 3-game series between the Phillies and the Milwaukee Brewers. It wraps up on Wednesday the 25th with a Citizens Bank Business Person Special. And after the ball game at Modell Sporting Goods, kids run the bases. Order your tickets now at Phillies.com.
It's interesting the stuff that just went on there. You know, little chess match going as Kyle Kendrick comes out, did a great job. Francisco is a guy that can hit the ball out of the ballpark. 8th inning, probably figuring maybe he's getting a little bit tired. And you notice that Freddie Gonzalez did not use Hinske there to pinch hit because he thought that could just happen, that they'd bring the left-hander in. So if he was going to offer a guy up, it was going to be Francisco and not Hinske. He was going to keep Hinske, and now he goes to Diaz.
Well, and now both managers have gone to the pen with the pinch hitter here and Bastardo coming in, and neither starting pitcher has reached 100 pitches.
Right. But it's hot out there tonight, and they both had jams.
Diaz takes low. It's 1-0.
Excuse me, Tom. A lot of times managers will tell you they watch, too, to see how much effort they have. Sometimes it doesn't look like it's that many pitches, but how many jams have they been in and how hard have they had to work? And they both had to work out of jams.
Diaz on the year, 227 hitter. And grounds one to third, a foul ball. It's 1 ball and 1 strike.
Another guy who's loved hitting in this park over the years. Well, Tim Hudson get over near the fan. Looked like he was going to have to leave the game early. Found out what he had bone spurs on his ankle.
And a base hit to left field. Fontenot was playing over toward the line. And Diaz a pitch single. So the Braves have the leadoff batter aboard for the 2nd time in a row. And now the top of the order is up. Kyle finishes tonight. He has 13 straight now scoreless innings. Well, and this is where managers earn their money. They go by their feel. As we said, both managers have lifted their starter in a scoreless game.
He just didn't want him to face one of those left-handed hitters that can hit the ball of the ballpark, Francisco and Hinske. Wound up, Diaz comes up, gets a single. Watch for a bunt here.
And Bourne shows bunt, takes inside, 1-0.
The thing with Michael Bourne, you have to be careful that he doesn't put down such a perfect bunt that all of a sudden you have first and second, nobody out. When he bunts the ball, you got to get after it and throw him out. Unless it's bunted real hard and you're thinking about second.
The count's aboard. Bastardo had a scoreless inning in last night's ball game against the Mets. And there's ball 4. So out of the chute, first and second with nobody out. And there's nobody warming up in the pen. Rich Doobie's going to come out and talk to Bastardo.
Well, there are a couple things now, whether they're going to play for a bunt with Prado. But the one thing about Prado is he really hacks early when there are men on base. He's been swinging early tonight anyway. But with men on base, he looks for a fastball to hit. Now he's going to go talk to Brian Snitker. And whether they put the bunt on or not, that's always a great idea for the coach to come down, talk to the guy, because then you're thinking, well, what are they doing? Just puts more doubt in the opposition's mind when you see that. Bastardo is just maddeningly inconsistent. They want him to be their 8th inning guy. They want to trust him, but he's hard to trust.
Yeah, so good last night. And then he was. He was throwing strikes last night.
Right. That's the point. But you one day on, one day off. And if you're going to be in this part of the game, you can't be that way.
I think the other frustrating part is that he wasn't this way last year for most of the season. He was arguably the best left-handed relief pitcher in the National League.
Him and Venters probably.
Yeah.
Well, they're going to have to cheat for a bunt, and Prado can smoke it.
Corners are in. Runners lead off. Prado shows bunt and takes a ball.
Got 2 guys right now that have been willing to give themselves up, and you can't throw a strike. Boy, this is a great time to take it off if you're Freddie Gonzalez. The only thing he's worried about is a double play. The starter, what he's looking at right now is a third baseman Fontenot, who gets a sign on what kind of bunt play they want to use. Jimmy Rollins was set to rotate on that, but he didn't throw a strike.
Prado's not squaring, and he loops it to left field. Pierre comes running in, and he's there.
Boy, it's a big out. Prado just puts his hands on top of his helmet like, I had me a pitch to hit. He took the bunt off, trusted me, and what did I do? I jammed myself. Big play. Not play, but a pitch. Watch, he's got the, oh, look where that thing was. Right down the middle. Oh, he said, how did I do that? And Freddie Gonzalez said, I guess I should have left the bunt on.
Here's Jason Hayward, who's 2 for 3. Hayward's up now. Jones on deck. Scoreless game here at the top of the 8th. Bourne's at first. Diaz is at second. They throw a strike to Jason Hayward.
Nice having a runner on in front of Michael Bourne, too, because you don't have to worry about him running.
Just think of the same thing. Diaz is not fleet of foot.
Right. Yeah, you know, just he totally forgot about him. He's not going anywhere.
Popped him up. Left side of the infield. Infield fly rule is called. It's a fair ball. 2 outs.
This is Antonio Bastardo. He does stuff like this. Now, see if he can get one more. And you know this man coming up. There's Hudson. Here he pops up. Look how far off the plate Freddie Freeman is now after they pitched him inside. Or I mean Hayward is, since they pitched him inside so much early in his career.
And he's got such a long wingspan.
Yeah.
He can cover that area.
What's a new ball? Now Chipper Jones. How many times have we seen him go hacking early in these situations? You know they know that, so they may not give in on the first pitch to him.
Those are his numbers against left-handed pitching. He's the cleanup batter for the Braves. He's hit in 12 consecutive games. He has a base hit tonight. As the starter 1 out away from getting out of this 8th inning jam.
His first at bat right-handed.
He starts him off with a slider. Strike 1.
Good job. See Rich Stubbe, you know, he's thinking the same thing. And that's really good thinking out there, boys. Don't want to throw Chipper a first ball fastball. See him throw that many changeups, and he'll only throw them to right-handed hitters, and that one got away.
But he's once really trying to wipe that perspiration off his hand and his arm, too.
Well, you know, he's always shaking that left hand. That's one of his things.
Swing and a miss with 92 on the gun. Over the fastball, it was down. It had some late movement on it, and now he's 1 strike away.
And it was set up by going breaking ball changeup to Chipper Jones and getting him off the fastball. That was the biggest pitch of the game now. They want to make sure they're on the same page.
Yeah, this may be one in the dirt and then another one.
Yeah, I agree. If you throw fastball to Chipper right now, you want it to be high, because you don't want it down around belt high to him.
The year where every game is important at this point. Every pitch is important. The 1-2 pitch. Inside, 2-2.
He went with fastball.
You have 4 Hall of Famers on that list. Bobby Abreu has, well, always been borderline statistically.
Well, you're at that spot again where you don't have to give in with a left-handed hitter on deck. To him, another fastball in off the plate, trying to crowd him. I think they're going to try and make Chipper Jones hit a ball.
Runners go, and
slider, and it missed. Guess it was a little low. But that's the point we're trying to make. They weren't going to give in with fastball there. You wouldn't think they would. And it's a good job by Jones to stay off it. He comes with slider, and it's low.
Yeah, it was low. Over at third is Diaz. On second is Bourne. And around at first, Chipper Jones. What do I know? I still think the pitch to Tejada last night, the 2-2 was a strike.
That sure could have been. And the 3-2 was really close.
Freddie Freeman has a hit tonight in 3 at-bats. And he takes a fastball just a tad low.
Well, see, that's the thing with when you run out of the wiggle room.
And Schwimmer's starting to fire in the pen.
And he's got himself into a spot where he has to throw a strike to a really good hitter.
Well, he has run out of any kind of wiggle room right now.
Yeah.
It's 20 pitches in this inning for Bastardo. The first 2 batters got aboard on a single and a walk. Then he got the next 2. Now, after walking Jones, it's 3-0 to Freddie Freeman. I have to admit, I was a little surprised that Freeman might have been taken there. Well, I guess I shouldn't be.
Taken all the way, too.
Yeah.
Wasn't like he was trying to eliminate half of the plate.
Ball 4, and the game's first run is walked in with the bases loaded here in the 8th. The 3rd walk of the inning for Bastardo.
And you have another left-handed hitter, so he's out here for one more.
What a shame.
Yeah.
In a game where there haven't been many hits, the first run scores and a bases loaded walk.
Give Jones and Freeman some credit too, because they walked there. You know, there are teams that would be hacking away in those situations. This team didn't.
Brian McCann is hitless in 3 at-bats.
One thing very different about the Atlanta Braves though this year. Last year, especially at this time, a 7-inning game was what you had with them, because Venters pitched the 8th, gave up nothing. Kimbrel would shut you out in the 9th. No more Venters.
Yeah, Venters is on the disabled list with an impingement to his elbow. Center field, Victorino on the run, back to the infield, out to the track, to the wall, and it's a grand slam for Brian McCann. And all of a sudden, it's 5-0 Atlanta.
He had one earlier against the Phillies off half of that. That's 2 grand slams off the Phillies this year. Hanging slider. This will be a long walk out now.
This is just a disheartening inning.
Well, that's unfortunately with Antonio Bastardo. You know, he's just so erratic. There's the hanging slider. And McCann hits it out of the ballpark to center field.
Ninth career grand slam for Brian McCann.
2 this year, at least.
Antonio Bastardo is enveloped with boos as he heads to the dugout. Braves up 5-0 here in the top of the 8th. Top of the 8th. If you flipped off the TV for just a second and maybe went up to get a cold beverage or something to eat and came back and it was scoreless when you left, it's not scoreless anymore. Antonio Bastardo gave up a grand slam. This after walking Freddie Freeman with the bases loaded. So he's done. Michael Schwimmer's in. He's the 8th man to bat in the, he'll face the 8th man to bat in this inning, and Dan Uggla. Schwimmer's numbers 0-1, 3.72 earned run average. And the first pitch slider is upstairs, 1-0.
Man, has 9 slams. Huh? It's a lot of grand slam home runs.
2 this year.
We've seen them both, unfortunately.
That is a long foul ball. 1-1 the count to Uggla. Such a shame. I mean, Bastardo was a strike away, an out away from getting out of the inning.
Sounds like last night.
Even before he came up to the plate.
Well, that's why we're talking about it as it's going along. He's maddeningly inconsistent. I don't know what they're going to do about it. You know, they want him to pitch the 8th inning, but they, you know, get to the point where can you trust him or not? It's a tough decision. Well, I don't know. You know, it's a decision they're going to have to make. You know, tonight he got ugly.
Concerning part sometimes is the back-to-back games. Good for one, and then the next day not. And
yeah, that doesn't help you any.
Yeah.
If he's your 8th inning guy.
Here's the 2-2 pitch.
They have a lot of left-handed hitters. That was the other idea. All blew up. See right there, keeping score, that bunch of runs have scored.
Count is 2 balls and 2 strikes to Uggla. Line drive, foul. Nice play.
Really? Standing play. Ball was hammered.
She recognized perfectly that it was a foul ball and made the play.
Short hop. Really a good play.
Chair in hand.
Well, it was a long hop, but still. Really good play.
Swing and a miss. Uggla's rung up. The inning is over, but the damage certainly has been done. A grand slam from Brian McCann off Antonio Bastardo has made this a 5-0 ball game as we move to the bottom of the 8th. highlights of the game. We're going to cheat a little bit here. We go way back earlier this year. This is the game in which Roy had a 6-run lead on May 2nd. 6-run lead no more. That grand slam tied it up at 6 for Brian McCann. Little foreshadowing, Wills, for what we saw tonight from Brian McCann.
Yeah, hanging slider from Bastardo. You see Carlos Ruiz wanted to catch that thing before he had a chance to swing at it. Tim Hudson knows, hey, I'm still a pitcher of record. Yeah. My club's winning.
So our W. Mason deliveries of the game. McCann settles in behind the plate. John Mayberry will pinch hit for Michael Schwimmer here at the bottom of the 8th. And Eric O'Flaherty is the new pitcher for the Braves. One 1-0 with a 3.07 ERA for O'Flaherty.
This is a spot in the game last year where you thought you were really in trouble, and you still may be down 5-0. But with Venters and Kimbrel at the end of a game, they were almost impossible to beat until September.
Line drive, base hit for Mayberry. He was aboard to start the 8th inning.
He hit a high changeup. Nothing off speed, maybe breaking ball. Flaherty's reaction, like, oh man, I made a lousy pitch there. Good job by John Mayberry. Get something started here.
The Phils have 2 at-bats left. Braves didn't show any life offensively until their half of the 8th. Now the Phils here at the bottom of the 8th. They have 5 hits. They haven't scored yet. Nobody out, though, and a runner at first for Rollins. And Rollins fouls the first pitch into the glove of McCann. 0-1. Jeremy Horst is warming in the bullpen. Low, 1-2 the count to Rollins. They throw behind John Mayberry. That's a pretty good toss from McCann.
Yeah, he sees Mayberry sees the ball go in the dirt like that. He's thinking maybe it'll bounce away. I'll get a second. And McCann takes a shot at it.
And Rollins is swinging a miss, tied up with a fastball for the first out. And that'll bring Victorino to the plate. That was out of the strike zone. Victorino 1 for 3 tonight. Braves come into this ball game 6 games behind the Nationals. They look up and see that Washington's trailing 4-0 at the top of the 8th, and they figure, oh, that's a hot team. If we win, we'll have a chance to make up a game. Phillies in the back of their mind think that too. But unlike the Braves, the Phillies have the Marlins, the Braves, the Mets, and the Nationals to deal with. Ball 4, so 2 on with 1 out, and Chase Utley's coming up. Now the All-Star break is coming up Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. The game will take place Tuesday at 7:30 Eastern on Fox. That's 4:30 p.m. Pacific. Don't miss the American League getting set to take on the National League. Again, this year's All-Star game is on Fox. Chipper Jones is going to the All-Star game. So is Carlos Ruiz, Jonathan Papelbon, Cole Hamels. Chipper Jones, we mentioned before, it's the first time that he'll set foot on Kauffman Stadium soil.
Yeah. Get another new ballpark for him. They're going to get Durbin up again for Ruiz.
Chad Durbin, such a big part of the Phils bullpen during their success. The early part, 08, 09. 2010.
Yeah, he worked a lot.
He did a great job for him. Not only that, he kept that bullpen. Durbin and Lidge really kept that bullpen together. The personalities, I mean, those guys were, those veterans were kind of the glue of that pen. Scott Air, I mean, you name it, they had some personalities out there. And you add Ryan Matson into that mix.
Well, there's a personality. Now Braves are where they want to be with a left-hander in the game against the left-handed hitters, just like the Phillies were. Only it didn't work out.
0-2 the count to Chase with 1 out here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Phils have 2 on with a chance to get something going here. A swing and a miss, 2 outs. So O'Flaherty has picked up 2 strikeouts tonight. And here comes Ryan Howard.
And this is a point you and I were talking about last time. You said, well, you don't want to take Ryan Howard out of the game for a pinch runner because you may need his bat later. At the time, you think, well, maybe you can get 1 run and then hold him off. But here he comes up here now, and they're down 5-0.
A little bit more of a shift on for Howard. Uggla's deep at second. Howard takes low, 1-0.
Flaherty just struck Chase Utley out on a slider. He figured Howard's going to see some sliders.
Fights it off. Dribbling.
Ryan Howard's looking at his bat right now as the ball girl gives a young fan a souvenir. He's looking at his bat like, how did I not break that? He keeps looking at it. That was right on his hands.
Probably wants to make sure he didn't break it.
Oh, yeah.
They got a fastball and he fouled it back. It's 1-2.
They're jamming him. They're coming inside on him, figuring he can't be real quick right now. Now they may go away with a slider, or they'll be beating him twice with fastballs in this at bat.
Lays off the slider, 2-2.
It's a good job right there not to go fishing on that.
Cad goes out to the mound. Ground ball to second base, and Uggla in shallow right field will take care of Howard. Phillies leave a couple. They've left 6 now over the last 3 innings. No runs, 1 hit, 2 men left. We go to the 9th inning. Braves 5, Phillies nothing. For a complete recap and highlights, plus former Phil's catcher Chris Post offers his insights on the Phil's series against the Braves. Watch Phillies postgame live presented by Cure Auto Insurance right here after the ball game. I think they thought the kiss cam was on there, Wills. That is Margie, one of the suite attendants here at Citizens Bank Park. In fact, she's in the Comcast Sportsnet suite.
Yeah, it's Bongo Cam.
They got them all confused. Jeremy Horst into the ball game. This is just his 3rd ball game. 8, 9, and 1 due up for the Braves. 9 will be Jack Wilson. He's going to come out and pinch hit for Atlanta. First pitch inside to Simmons. Kyle Kendrick started 7 outstanding innings, 7 shutout innings. He struck out 5. Then Antonio Bastardo gave up the 5 runs, the grand slam, the bases loaded walk in 2/3. Michael Schwimmer got the last out of the 8th, and now Horst gets a ground ball to short. And Rollins around the bag throws him out.
Yeah, and that'll be the story of the game, of course, tonight. Why did you take Kendrick out of the game? That's what they'll ask. And, you know, everybody will want to hear the answer to that. We threw it out there, why we thought he did it. And they'll be interested to hear what Charlie Manuel says afterwards.
I think the big thing is Charlie wants to be comfortable with certain parts of his bullpen, particularly the 8th and 9th inning of his bullpen. He's certainly comfortable with Papelbon. I think he's getting more and more comfortable with Michael Schwimmer with the way he's been throwing lately.
Well, they have to develop somebody late in the game that can get people out. And, you know, they're trying to do it with Bastardo because he has a history from last year up until September. But since September last year, he hasn't been able to do it consistently. So there's going to come a point probably where they're going to go, well, we just can't go there anymore.
Oh, it won the count to Wilson. 1 ball, 1 strike the count. Jack Wilson, 179. He's been a good player for a long time in his major league career.
Yeah, he can play short, obviously shortstop, and he used to be very acrobatic out there with the Pirates. He can play second, he can play third. He's a nice veteran player to have in your club.
Swing and a miss, 2 outs. So Horst has 2 outs, and they'll bring Michael Bourne to the plate.
Look back at that inning on Bastardo. You know, you got a left-handed hitter, Bourne, he walked. You have Jones, you want him to bat right-handed, walked him. You have Freeman left, he walked him. And a left-handed hitter he threw the grand slam to. So all the people, basically, a lot of the people that are in there the game to get out, got him.
Just kept falling behind, too.
Yeah.
0-1 the count. And down low, 1 ball, 1 strike the count to Bourne. Bourne tonight has walked twice. Scored a run, as Wheels mentioned, in the 8th inning after the walk. Well, they're still soaking in a chance to see their fills. Got to keep the faith.
Hey, that generation right there has never seen this team do anything but win.
Can't remember where I was. I was talking to a teenager, 16 years old. And, we were discussing the fact that the Phillies haven't been 10 games under 500 since 2002. As a swing and a miss by Bourne, and I realized that he was 6 the last time that happened. So you're right. The generation that we just looked at, they're not used to this. We go to the bottom of the 9th inning. One last chance for the Phillies. Parked on Citizens Bank Way from 10 a.m. until 2 p.m. While supplies last, donating fans will receive a free reusable grocery bag. Those come in handy, Wheels. See the Can-Can dancing with the Phillies ball girl. Special appearances by the Fanatic and Greg Luzinski. Some music by 98.1 WOGL. See Phillies.com/community for more details. Chad Durbin will take over for the Braves here in the bottom of the 9th inning. And the former Phil, he's done well for Atlanta. 3-1 with a 3.90 ERA. Started out this year with the Washington Nationals. They were trying to get a little of the old Phillies formula with Lidge and Durbin. And he was let go by Washington, signed by Atlanta.
Washington's done an unbelievable job. With all the closers they've gone through, and Storen's close to coming back, and he's their closer. So they have a chance to get better.
0-1 the count to Carlos. Up high, 1 ball, 1 strike.
You wonder with them, that as it goes along, they are going to lose Strasburg at some point. They said they would.
I'll believe it when I see it.
Me too.
I understand they're trying to take care of the guy's arm, but
that will be a very interesting decision.
On 1 hop, Simmons flips it to first.
Tim Hudson tonight really was on his game. He doesn't throw as hard as he used to, but we talked about him at the beginning of the game. He's smart, he's competitive, and he throws a lot of ground balls. There was one Ryan Howard, a 3-6 double play. Did not strike out him, but look at that sinker run right in there on the hands of Carlos Ruiz. He used his changeup, used his curveball, but a lot of sinkers, cutters, and he kept the ball on the ground. And that's where Tim Hudson beat you, when he throws a lot of ground balls.
It's our Liberty Mutual defensive play of the game. Responsibility, what's your policy?
You know, a guy like him, as I said, he's nowhere near the velocity guy that used to be, but he's still smart and he knows how to pitch and he can win.
15 ground ball outs tonight for Tim Hudson.
And that's Tim Hudson. That's when he has a good game.
Hunter Pence tonight is 0 for 2. Freddie Freeman over at first base, wanders under it. Bobs and weaves back and forth for the second out. Pierre came up in the second with a runner at second, grounded out. Came up in the seventh with runners on first and second, and he flied out. And he's taken a strike, and it's 2-0.
Colorado's still shutting out Washington. Look out there and you wonder how many pitchers they've used, because they're still into that. Although they sent Outman out the other day.
Yeah. Back toward the middle. Nice play by Durbin. This should do it. And the Braves have taken game one by a final score of 5-0. A ball game that was a pitcher's duel through 7. And then it just unraveled in the top of the 8th inning when Brian McCann hit a grand slam to ice the inning and essentially ice the victory for the Atlanta Braves. 5-0 the final score. McCann is the Chevrolet player.